So what I would do is move your chat so it's off to the side as well. Or you can just hide it, I guess. And show the scoreboard and the
So,
all that jazz.
so
Yeah.
we got this. We'll take this guy off. We are live, by the way.
Heck yeah, we are.
Time controls. We'll snag that guy off.
Put the objective timers on too.
Which one's that?
That is the very bottom one.
Take that.
There you go.
Is it
Perfect.
scroll? How do I scroll out?
Oh, I don't know. I've never used it. I swear, someone Twitch chat always knows.
Yeah,
So
I'm sure. If there are a couple live viewers in the Twitch chat, please let me know if my audio's coming in right and if Dan's audio's coming in right. That'd be super appreciated. But until hopefully I get a confirmation. But if I don't, we're live here with NDSU versus SDSU. I'm here with Gotti Boy Dan, your regular streamer. I was filling in as we thought he was going to be absent for a while, but he made it in the nick of time, so we're going to sit here and stream together.
heck yeah. Gotta stay dedicated to the boys, right?
I had no idea what I was doing, so I missed draft, but looks like the big man in the top lane shot the Cho'Gath Scion going against each other here. Looking like they're just going to want to leave that Cho'Gath right on the island all game, and they're taking the Cho'Gath to match it. I was just talking with Dan. I'm pretty sure, due to this new skin line, Cho'Gath got a big buff. I've been seeing him fighting lately.
That's the only reason. Yeah, I did hear that he got buffed, mainly because Solo, who is a prolific tank player in the LCS, I remember somebody talking about how it was the Solo buff. So,
Sure.
tank meta.
Yeah, in the jungle, looks like we're going somewhat of a bruiser matchup. Probably a Sunder competition there between the Wukong and Poppy. Got that range mid lane control mage Syndra Victor matchup there. And the two somewhat hyper carry. You know, the Jinx a little bit more of a hyper carry than the Varus, but in the bot lane. And the double enchanter kind of got the healer and the shielder. So pretty even matchups here. I don't really have one super in favor of or the other. Looked pretty even, honestly.
Yeah, you know, I think one thing that perplexed me a little bit was the Poppy pick. It's not really a very popular pick. I know it is comfort for Reed in the jungle. And his reasoning was probably like, oh, his W can stop Wukong WE or whatever, but
Sure.
I don't really think it counters their comp that much.
Outside
Usually that's
of that jungle matchup, I completely agree. Outside of the jungle matchup, there's one dash on the team, and it's Wukong, and he only has one. Two. I imagine it blocks his W and his E.
Oh, here's a gank. That's a great gank angle, but the E doesn't hit.
The flash out of the Victor early. Do we commit?
Oh, the flash for first blood.
Very good. Very well executed gank there as well. Poppy right into that top side jungle wall, get the flash, and then they complete the execution there. That was huge. That was huge. First blood for Syndra.
Yeah, you know, it almost looked like there was a little bit of miscommunication on if they wanted to finish the kill, but in the end, Stormstars does flash in and get that. So, slight advantage. They got the assist gold on to Fresh Cut as well.
Here we got Wukong hung on the jungling in the top side here, going for this kind of late top side scuttle. His clear
Heavy trade here.
That Wukong clear is usually about 330 on the mark, so he's just a touch late on getting there. He's going to look for a bit of an invade, nothing there. Maybe even a dive setup here. On the
Free
side.
gang, although the wave's been pushed out, so well played by Josh Peck. I don't know if he knew, but he's going to stay safe for now.
Karma going to get a deep ward on the blue buff down there.
I love warding over there. There's that brush right there by that wall. I love sticking a pink ward there. Nobody ever checks it.
Wukong did just sneak in mid lane, but
Oh.
directed cam did take us elsewhere. We're duping it out in the bot lane.
Flash exhaust from Bimaduna. That's going to be the cleanse from Jinx as well as the flash. Still flash on Culver's Deluxe. Flash forward from Razzle Dazzler picks up the kill, and that's just how we're rolling, I guess. Tower dive and trade kills.
Yes, I'm not sure. I'm a big fan of the trade there. I don't know what the gold difference
Ooh,
looks
Josh
like
Peck
there.
falls.
I don't know what the I shouldn't say gold difference, but I don't know what the overall benefit of a 1 kill on Varus compared to Jinx is, but I never like an early kill on Jinx. And you're right, Josh Peck falls to the solo Bolo in the top lane.
Yeah, you know, both solo laners really getting poked out. They're not winning these sides of the trades. There's already quite a bit of a farm advantage top lane as well, and mid for that matter, about a wave up.
I saw someone ask to zoom out. If someone could tell me the controls to zoom out, I'd be
Yeah,
happy.
if anybody knows the controls, please let us know.
Looks like we're just gonna calm down on the map here a little bit. Controls, Shift, Z, scroll out. Holy cow, zones.
There we go. All right. I love how that just blows everybody's mind when that happens.
Every time, I appreciate that. Thank you. The even sixes here in the top lane. It did look like Cho'Gath was a little early to the punch here with that solo kill.
Yeah, and I think Cho honestly is going to win those trades now. We see a potential gank here bot lane. There is a pink ward, but NDSU's bot lane does not have any summoners right now. And this might be a bit of a bait contest, but Bimanduna knows to back off there.
Poppy
one thing,
just clearing, staying tight.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to point out on the Poppy, as I was saying earlier, usually it is like, you know, it's obviously good into things that have dashes. Oh, we got a fight going here. I don't think much is going to happen here. But normally Poppy's just used as a counter pick. And usually at counter picks, you want it to counter more than just one champion when you're in the jungle because you're impacting so much of the map. So personally, as a Poppy jungle player, I don't like to lock it in unless there's at least 2 champions that have dashes. And this game, it just doesn't feel like they're getting the full use out of it.
No, I can completely get behind that as well. We didn't see the order of draft, and that's completely my fault. I was a little incompetent on setting up the draft in my OBS, but Josh Peck and Cho'Gath duking it out here. The absolute big men having the sumo wrestling match.
Dragon picked up, but that's just a free kill, man.
Wow.
That show damage is nuts.
Josh Peck must have been watching the Baus FFS stream before the game. He's looking to abuse the bounty system maybe a little bit. That's what we can hope.
Okay, so I've been informed that Poppy was the second or third, the pick, blue side pick 2/3 into the Wukong Jinx that was locked in. So it was into the Wukong as like a quasi counter, but
sure.
I just don't like to lock it in that. I feel like there's other picks that are probably a little stronger.
I can agree. I'm not a big fan. I'm not sure what went on in the heads of NDSU there on the pick. I don't know who wanted it or who didn't want it. I don't even believe it's much of a comfort pick, and maybe it is.
It is a little bit of a comfort pick for him. He has that champ pool of tanks. Stormstars has good mana here still.
Yeah, Victor's a bit
use.
Maybe some action going down in the.
That's his ult.
Just clearing some vision.
But yeah, this top lane matchup is going to be real tough for Josh Peck. You can see he's just trying to push it. You know, I was playing with him the other day, and he's like, "Is Sion any good?" Because we had it in a few games in a row. And the big thing about the Sion pick is it's so tanky, but when you have a Cho'Gath beaten down, you're like, that is pretty hard.
I'm telling you, this guy had to get buffed. I'm not sure I've seen this guy do much damage, but he could. I imagine both of them are just going with a real fast hardsteel rush here.
Yes, that's what I would guess as well. And the big thing I was going to say about the Sion as well is he can one-shot waves. That's another reason that people like picking it so much now, as we have a fight in the bot lane here.
Cleanse comes out of Jigs.
Ultimate from the Varus and the heal. Exhaust down as well, but they just don't have the damage yet. Bubble's not going to land. Q does finish the kill. Nice snipe from Ross there.
Wow. Actually, pretty well played there by the bot lane. That Jinx had to use her cleanse early there. Jinx not having heal either. She did get the heal off by Nami, but and this Cho'Gath is getting fed. Holy cow!
Flash ult into the auto and the Q to finish it off. Honestly, I have no idea why Freshcut is spending any time top lane. It's completely lost at this point. He should really be trying to get his bot lane ahead.
No, and I can't imagine Josh Peck is advocating for Poppy to be up here. I don't think he even really cares that his laner is getting killed. Poppy's pressure just needs to be elsewhere on the map.
I completely agree. As we see Ibis 29 flashing away from Stormstar's damage there. He did pop his ultimate, so no more left in the tank to finish off that kill.
Sion's just going to sit under his tower. Cho'Gath coming into this topside jungle here. I don't imagine they look for anything, but you never know. The wave's pretty minimal.
And here's how you see that fully charged Q from Science is so important to why he's viable in the top lane. He's able to just one-shot those waves even at this point in the game where he only has a Kindle gem.
Of course, we do get the Victor ult out of mid lane. There was a potential gank there with the support roam out of B Maduna. Victor just ults and walks away, and Syndra also opts to walk away instead of contesting. She has no R as well. So.
And we did see Herald get picked up by Wukong by Glue Stick in the jungle for SDSU, so we'll see if they decide to pop that right away in the mid lane or wait until they have a better opportunity elsewhere.
I'm not sure I am a fan of the lethality Varus into this game. That Cho'Gath and Wukong are going to be a pair of menaces. And I'm not sure Cinder damage is all you want to rely on. That's so much burst damage, not a lot of sustain. Could have been a much better on-hit Varus angle here. But
I totally agree, you know, and he went for poke right off the bat. As you see, he has Comet, but I totally agree. I mean, where's the DPS coming for NDSU, especially into this tank Cho'Gath? I mean, 3-0 already. It's going to be impossible to kill this guy.
No, I agree. He's already got the tab eyes. The Yumu's rush just, I don't think, is the play. He has tab eyes, he gets hard seal, and he might have an early Warden's Mail Bramble Vest, and this Varus is going to find himself having a tough time killing. But we do get some breakdown in the bot lane here. But there's the Varus damage. Holy cow, lethality. The flash Q on
Great
Varus.
play. I don't know what happened there. I mean, Culver's Deluxe just sat there AFK. Stormstars picks up the second kill.
Yeah, Stormstars with the roam down. Victor doesn't even have a wave pushed in yet. Hopefully they get back to mid. They can salvage this wave and maybe a tower plate from Victor. And wow, great play. Great play after I just was, you know, bashing the...
Looking for more.
Lethality, looking for Wukong. Has to flash. Did not have the W up. He could have W'd over the wall and must be on
I think
CD.
he might have had it. He might have had it, but Fresh Cut put up his W there to deny him from going over the wall.
Right,
so that was a good play from him. Using that counter pick.
We do have Drag Cryo here.
Yep, they are going to start it up. Varus is in base right now, so it's still a little sketchy with SDSU's bot lane resetting. And it does look like they want to contest as you see 4 members starting to converge on the Dragon Pit.
Not a lot of damage on the Dragon for blue side. Stormstars does roam down, does have R, but so does Victor. We'll see. It's going to be a 4v3, and Varus is nowhere to be seen.
This is looking sketch.
Also making his way from topside river here. And Fresh
Victor's
just
gone,
goes down. Jinx passive is activated, and I imagine they just get out of here. We can look for the Varus steal, perhaps.
Cho'Gath's here too. Stormstars got to run.
But this is what Josh Peck is looking for in the top lane, and something blue side's going to have to look for is it's going to have to be a Scion split push and draw as much pressure as possible to take some pressure off the map here.
Yeah, now we got Herald pop mid lane, and NDSU already starting to bleed out a bit here as they've had to give over several major objectives.
Yeah, 13 minutes in, we have a 1k gold lead to red side. Varus whiffs on the ult there, Windy Day on the rift.
He still wins this.
He just executes that Jinx, and he sure does. Cho'Gath already with the hard steal, and he's going to be getting procs on that Scion all day long.
Yeah, really the only saving grace for NDSU right now is Razzle Dazzler in the bot lane, but as we've said, that lethality build is going to fall off eventually, and he's really going to have to be able to pick off SDSU's carries before any fights break out, or they're not going to be able to front to back.
No, I agree, and there's just no world they do front to back. I don't see a world in where that Cho'Gath doesn't just walk straight at Varus and chomp him.
Yeah, he gonna be eating. He gonna be eating.
He's gonna be stacked up. Oh, Josh Peck.
Ult under the tower.
Oh, and they're just gonna walk away like nothing happened.
Trying to protect that second plate there before 14 minutes hits, and he does successfully do that. So only 1 plate taken off the top tower for Cho.
Nami's looking to get. They have some deep vision in blue side top jungle here. Nami's looking to get a bit more. B Maduna clearing out some control wards as well, but looks like they're gonna have a vision fight here in the top side, grabbing some wards. Red side's grabbing some wards and Scuttle.
Decent damage, but this is dangerous for Stormstars, and he should know there's something more here. He does have to flash out.
Yeah, not where they want to be. You can't imagine that Victor is playing so aggressive just by himself. You have to imagine that there's a there's a couple other people there with him. They're gonna be comfortably pushing up that far.
Yeah, and I mean, what are we contesting there anyways, you know?
Yeah, we're just fighting for a lost Scuttle.
Yeah, so Little sus, but NDSU's bot lane pushing in here, getting some damage onto the tower. Meanwhile, Cho'Gath doing the same thing top, and he's just completely ignoring Josh Peck.
Josh Peck can just do nothing. He just clears the wave, but it's just not enough. But the Culver's Deluxe goes down. Karma does pick up the kill instead of Varus, but there's that lethality damage.
Just one shot the Nami there with the Varus ult Q combo.
Wow, and the Culver's Deluxe is usually quite a strong spot on the team. Nothing against him, but oh wow! And the Poppy looks to finish, and Poppy does get the shutdown with the assist gold onto Stormstars.
Good pickup to return, but I think a little over aggressive, giving over a little bit of that shutdown money over to the victor, as Stormstars, I believe, had a 150 bounty on his head.
And Cho'Gath just roaming where he pleases. Flash out of the Poppy.
Yeah, that Cho chomp. It's only going to get scarier from here for NDSU.
And I'll said it once, I'll say it again. I don't see a world where this guy doesn't stack 1,000 armor and just walk all over everyone on the Rift.
I mean, look at the items on NDSU. Who is killing this Cho? I mean, we have a Luden's Echo and full lethality Varus.
A really interesting TP by Stormstars there. He did want to grab the wave. I think he just didn't want to allow Victor to get the rest of this tower. I don't see a world in which he does. A little skirmish here.
NDSU wants to fight, but everything misses.
Another moment in time here where it's kind of like, what are we fighting over here? Rift's already taken and they're gone. Top tower about to be gone as well here.
Yeah, dragon spawning in a minute. I would hope that NDSU starts looking for vision control in the bottom river. And they are just kind of playing for poke here in the mid lane with this Varus ahead now 4-1.
That is what they have. That is their only advantage. And you said it earlier. Pick off these carries before any fight can happen. And the Varus, Syndra, poke, even the Karma a little bit. The Varus ult goes a little wide.
So SDSU kind of has control here. They were able to get shove at mid lane. And now they have control over the dragon pit. So it's NDSU now that has to walk into the fog of war. Cho'Gath joining his team soon here. Josh Peck does have TP, but I don't know how much of an impact he's really going to have.
Yeah, I think Josh Peck's only worry here is he has to just push that top tower, and I think he knows that. He's just going to stay. It's this early soul point. Big!
Oh, we get ulted out, but Cho just chomps down Bimaduna.
Doesn't care. Glue stick might go down here. The flash over the wall. And Syndra can't walk anywhere. Zoned off by the Cho'Gath and the Nami ult. Jinx passive activated. And that's a lost dragon, I'd have to imagine. We pray for a Varus ult, if anything. Or a Varus steal, excuse me.
And here comes the Cho'Gath just walking at him. This is all he has to do. Just completely zone out the backline. Flash comes in and Fresh Cut's just dead.
And look at that damage. That was the full damage Varus combo. And
nothing.
Cho'Gath got tickled and walked away.
Yeah, I really don't see how NDSU wins this game unless Josh Peck can just out split push the Cho'Gath grouping with his team.
Right, that's what I'm saying, and I think either that or NDSU can't even just hope that this game goes to 30 minutes, 40 minutes. They get outscaled. They got to play for poke. They got to play the macro game here, I think, some way or another. Play around Razzle Dazzler with these picks on the carries, but this is gonna be a hard one to get back into.
Yeah, I'd say, you know, if Razzle Dazzler was on hit this game, I could see a chance of them winning this one. Like, you know, some late game fight where he's able to get off a bunch of autos, but unless they can really get picks around the rest of the map away from Cho'Gath, it's gonna be an uphill battle for sure.
We're just got bit of a calm moment here on the Rift. We'll have Baron spawning here. Is that Baron or second Rift? Should just be Baron in a minute, actually. Baron in a minute. Red side could have, SDSU could have a pretty early prio on that Baron if they choose at this point. Cho'Gath can shove that wave out with no tower. They've had vision control all game, so we'll see how they play this out in the next 40 seconds.
What do you want to see from NDSU to like try to get back into this game? Because they're down just 1.8k. I mean, it's not a huge lead right now for SDSU, but what does NDSU need to do to kind of start winning?
I think their only hope at this point is play around Razzle Dazzler. They like these moments here in the mid lane with just this Jinx Nami. You have to make a play, whether it's the Syndra stun into the Varus combo or the Poppy ult, something like that. You have to play for a pick on these carries before they can fight, and it has to come from times with, right now we can kind of see on the mini-map with the mid lane there, with the bot lanes matching. There has to be a third man from blue side there. This
NDSU trying to fight. I mean, this is just a tank battle. I don't think they have the damage to finish off this show.
This just is what needs to not happen here.
TP coming from Victor. NDSU trying to get there. Razzle Dazzler sped up by the Karma comes in flash. One shot Victor as soon as he TP's in.
Really big Victor stun into the Wukong ult though. And
that's a big shutdown though.
Cleaning house.
Cho'Gath still just banging away.
And Wukong with the big shutdowns. Josh Peck on the Scion, and the Cho'Gath are just going at it, and Cho'Gath still has R and just gobbles him up. Duna catches out the Wukong, and I imagine he's going to fall to the Jinx. That was the beginning of the fight that they needed. The shutdown on Razzle Dazzler was huge, but this Victor stun and the Wukong ult, that cleanup, it ended up probably not being in their favor gold-wise, I can't imagine.
Yeah, you know, NDSU needs to be playing away from the Cho'Gath, not towards them, and you can see just the power of how strong this tank is. Freshcut gonna try to defend this. He needs to back off right now or he's gonna die.
He goes up the flash. Varus with the...
And he is dead. Razzle Dazzler may be able to pick up something, but you could see how much damage Razzle Dazzler does on the squishy champions. I mean, he basically one-shot Victor immediately off of his TP. But it just took NDSU too long to get there, and by the time they do get there, Cho'Gath's still alive, and they all fall.
Yeah, as I was saying right before that fight broke out, that's exactly what they need to not be doing. That Poppy needs to leave Cho'Gath alone. That guy does not care who is on him at this point. They need to fight, as you just said, away from the Cho'Gath, away from the Scion. Let those two, Scion and Cho'Gath, duke it out, and if Cho'Gath chooses this team fight, Scion splits, and that's their hope at the moment. There's no reason to put Prio onto their Cho'Gath. It's the opposite of what they need to be doing here. But on the flip side, SDSU is playing this very well. That Cho'Gath is just taking every bit of attention possible. And that's exactly what he needs to be doing as well. Victor's getting big. They're scaling. Cho'Gath's farm is pretty incredible as well. Good CS all across the board for SDSU.
Yeah, and honestly, their comp, just looking at it, it's great. I mean, they have tons of late-game team fight damage and all the utility that they need to close this game out, honestly. I don't see kind of the philosophy behind NDSU's comp besides picks and poke. And unfortunately, at this point in the game, it's really hard for them to pull that off as Freshcut dies for the 5th time already.
That's just there's just too many deaths as well by the on Freshcut here. You know, there's kind of a mindset of every game you should just have. There's a limited pool of deaths that you have every game, and he seems to just be using up that death counter a little.
He's ODing right now.
I agree, yeah, he's just ODing, and here goes Soul. I don't see a world in which they do
Varus Q?
Like other than the Varus Q, and a little premature. And,
oh, they tried to combo it out, but good try.
Soul.
I'm just waiting for this Cho ult to one-shot him.
And I think he's going down. The flash, the ult wasn't enough.
Meanwhile, Varus ult goes wide. It gets blown up by Victor. Another E misses from Stormstars. He has not been hitting those this game. Beeman doing a run away from his teammate. And that's just a 1v3 kill. Holy shit.
That was just a 1v3 kill on the Victor. Takes all the pressure bot side, and they get the free Baron here. Freshcut cannot contest. He can't match Cho'Gath top. Scion just goes to farm in mid. I think this one's pretty well wrapped up. Put the bow on it and put it under the Christmas tree. It's done. It's packed up.
Yeah, Santa's coming to town. This one's probably over.
That Baron, I imagine they can just 1-4 probably send the Cho'Gath top again. They could probably even just ARAM it right down mid if they please. But I don't see a world in which Red Side can mess this up. They can 1-3-1, 4-1, or 1-4, excuse me, or 5 right down the middle lane for a strike. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, Stormstars picked up that shutdown on Ibis. I don't know what he was still doing bot lane. That was a bit of an overstay, so...
Yeah, that was super greedy with,
yeah.
with the Baron.
A little too much time down there, but I ultimately don't think it's going to be that big of an issue. I mean, And SDSU has the Chempunk. That's what it's called, right? Chempunk or Chemtech?
Chemtech sold.
Chemtech. They got the Chemtech Soul, and that's gonna give them more healing and shielding, right?
Yeah, so they get healing and shielding, and then I believe it's below 20% health. They do increased damage and have
Yeah.
increased healing. Um, this Cho'Gath is already 3 items. Look,
3
he's taken
items.
up half the lane. He's just eating the tower.
Here, you want to click on him and just see how much HP he has right now?
Cho'Gath just rocking an easy 6,600
Jeez.
HP.
Jesus Christ. And here's NDSU. They want more.
Here's the
The
razzle
shutdown.
dazzler. He
Cues the wrong direction.
He cued the wrong direction. Maybe he thought Wukong was back there. Does dodge the rupture, but
But who would have guessed? There's no killing that guy, and now they just give up mid lane. I mean,
Well,
I don't know why we keep going top, guys.
I agree. This is the story of the whole game. Here's the biggest man on campus, the Cho'Gath, and they're trying to 3-man him. What are we fighting for here, guys?
I mean, this Cho is just having the time of his life. He's just
He's
whacking
gobbling
people.
It up. He's getting hard steel stacks. This guy's happy. This guy's having a good time. He's level 16, 10 CS a minute, and just has 1,000 hard steel stacks.
Meanwhile, Josh Peck, who's supposed to be NDSU's tank, just getting demolished by the
just can't
poke.
compete. The 17 hard steel stacks on this Cho'Gath, by the way, he's done 2,100 damage, has extra 700 health. And
Jesus.
he's just gonna keep gobbling. In comparison, the Scion with
Double
9
it.
stacks, he's about doubled it, if not over that by now.
Can you get Flame Horizoned on a Heartsteel? Is that a thing? With that being said, the late game power spike of this team comp for SDSU just gonna absolutely blow straight through NDSU. It's a bit of a draft gap, but also itemization gap, and decision making not there for NDSU. Definitely do not want to play towards that Cho'Gath, and they paid for it in the end. So that is going to be a clean ace for SDSU.
Yeah, you know, that wasn't the worst game ever, but just a couple of things early on that just spiraled out. The Varus compared to Jinx scaling, Syndra compared to Victor, Cho'Gath to Scion, they just kind of got the better hand there when it came to scaling.
Yeah, I agree. I think if NDSU doesn't ban out that Cho'Gath, they definitely need to have more tools to kill him in the next game.
All right, so I will see if I can actually get draft to work this time and pop that up. I will view draft. There'll be, I don't believe I have comms for draft. I might throw them in there though. But if I don't, I'll see you guys after draft. All right, I do have comms for draft. Looks like Dan went to go get a beverage quick, not a problem. Let's see what we got going on for draft.
All right, I have returned.
Maduna's lobby is full. See if you can get me an invite. We got the draft pulled up. We got comms. We'll see what's going on here.
Yeah, so this game, I would hope NDSU has a better plan for drafts as far as how they want to go about things. I don't like reactionary drafts too much, and I think just the outlier was that Poppy pick. It didn't feel like it really fit in to
I agree.
what they want to do.
Let's grab this. There we go. Hop and spectate here quick.
There you are.
All right, and we'll start the draft here. See what SDSU pulls out for the first ban.
So the Amumu getting targeted at NDSU. I'm sure that one's been banned quite a bit against us since our support and jungler like to play it.
The Gangplank is the right back to SDSU. Wow, they're really targeting the B Maduna here. They must be looking at his match history here lately. He's been popping off on the Lux from what he told
Oh,
me.
really? All right.
And we hit the Annie. That's just a strong pick in general right now.
Mm-hmm. So no solo lane bans coming out. They're not afraid of Josh Peck or Storm Stars, it looks like. Or they know that they're going to wait to pick. One of two things.
Someone was telling me that my mic was a little quiet. I hope it's better now. I cranked the gain up on that thing.
Oh, they don't need to hear you.
That's okay. They got Dan.
Yeah, they got me. Don't worry.
All right, the Silas ban. Just another honestly strong picks all around. We have the crit changes, and ever since then, the Gangplank's just been super strong. Silas jungle, Silas mid, Annie mid, Annie support. Such strong picks. The Sejuani ban a little interesting, and they go with the Varus first pick here.
They're gonna show NDSU how to do it. They're gonna watch the NDSU's gonna pick Cho'Gath, and they're gonna be like, "All right,
they say
we're
hey,
gonna
Josh,
go on hit."
See what NDSU locks here. First picks.
That would be true poetry if SDSU actually does play the Varus into the Cho and goes on
Probably
hit. Just
a bot lane
dumpsters.
pick here. The Tristana, I imagine we see the support, perhaps jungle pickup here.
And that's most likely Tristana ADC. I don't think Storm Stars plays a lot of Trist, but Trist is good into Varus.
Maybe they grab the Zac jungle here unbanned.
See. I think with the Maokai nerfs, Zac jungle is actually kind of the next one up in line and still very strong.
Really taking their sweet old time. The last second pick, the Thresh. B Maduna on the absolute comfort pick. Wow. All right.
That's what we like to see.
Yeah, I don't really know what the bot lane chemistry there looks like. I can't imagine it's bad. Tristana with a hook champ. I imagine she runs some Halo Blades and she does just fine, but I'm not exactly sure on the exact chemistry.
I think Thresh got some buffs recently too. I'm not entirely sure. I'm gonna look here.
Yeah, he did. All the hook champs got a buff. The Alistair Varus bot lane. That's pretty crazy. I love to see a big Alistair. Huge engage. Big counter to the Thresh hook champs. I like it.
Yeah, although I would say Thresh is still pretty good in Alistar if he can time his flay right.
No, I like both of them. It's I think that's going to be a skill support matchup.
Yeah, you're probably right. We're going to lean on the side of B Maduna though, right?
Wow, the Rammus pick.
Rammus.
That guy.
Okay.
That guy hasn't been in the meta for a minute. I really like the Trundle pick here. I'm not quite sure if their jungle plays a lot of Rammus, but a huge counter pick to him for sure. Steal those stats away with the ult.
So here are the changes. Here are the changes to Thresh. Well, since we have plenty of time to talk about draft. So his Q damage was increased. His AP damage was increased on it, but also the cooldown was decreased on it by like half a second at each level.
Wow.
And actually goes down to 2 seconds less at max rank.
B Maduna is going to be foaming at the mouth at these Thresh buffs. He won't know what skin to pick.
So not only that, let's see. So Orin definitely comfort for Josh Peck.
Here's a fun stat. I bet we pull up Josh Peck's OP.G, and I bet he has the most disgusting Orin win rate on the planet.
Yeah. Sounds like he's been dealing with somebody that's been carrying his ass.
Well, right? You win. Sometimes you win some, you lose some. He's got a 75% win rate on the Orin, 73 on 11 games.
11 games, all right. I would have thought he'd have more than that by now. And you know what? This is interesting. NDSU hasn't banned the Cho'Gath. I'm very surprised by that.
I think he's happy to take a Cho'Gath matchup into something like this. Orange magic damage, at least in lane, gives him some sort of pressure. He at least has a utility ult as well. He always just has, uh, the ult knockups, the ornaments, you name it. Orange is significantly a better champ overall than the Scion, unless you're talking in terms of split pushing. They banned the Azir last. Azir ban.
This is interesting. So SDSU is clearly setting up for the Cho'Gath, but NDSU actually hovered the Trundle on that pick 3, which is something that I'm guessing they wanted to maybe play or flex it top jungle so that they couldn't play the Cho'Gath since Trundle's decent into it. But instead they are picking up the Lilia, so that'd be great into Rammus, Cho'Gath, Alistar. I love this pick. It kind of forces them to pick something different top lane.
I agree. I like that Lilia pick. Keep in mind they could have they could have taken that Trundle support. We saw that last week, or if not when that was 2 weeks ago. They flexed that Trundle top jungle and support and ended up taking it support. The Yone pick here. I can't imagine that's too bad. This could be an AP Varus as well. I was just looking at a real AD heavy team. The Cassante as well.
Yeah, you might be right on. Although I have heard of this like one trick Rammus player in like China or Korea or whatever, and he just
Sure.
like one shots people.
I don't know if Thresh is the play. First time chat. I don't know. Thresh is not a bad pick here. The second pick, Thresh, a little interesting on the bottom.
Olaf, top. So he's going to ignore any CC that NDSU has coming his way.
Yeah, doesn't care. Olaf's going to eat every Thresh hook or knock up Lily asleep for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah, we know that this guy's good, this DR double D guy. He played well last game, so I'm sure he can pilot this just as well. Much different playstyle, though, I'd say.
And the Ahri out of the mid lane.
Ahri into the Yone,
I imagine
okay.
that's fine.
Yeah, and I think it's good because he can follow up. What I like about this team comp from NDSU is like they clearly have like a vision for how they want to fight, with the Tristana going in and the Ahri going in and engaging fights with Lilia and Ornald's Fresh Hook.
Yeah, I think actually I'm a big fan of the NDSU draft here. The Thresh Hook engage. They have the Lilia bowling ball into the sleep, Ahri charm. Ornn with once there's one guy caught out, Thresh Hook, whatever they get caught out with. I mean, the follow up with the Ornn's crazy. And both Ahri, Lilia, and the Tristana damage, whether it's engage, disengage with the jump W. It should be pretty good for them. I think NDSU wins this draft for sure.
Yeah, I think the Lilia especially was a great pick. I like that shift in philosophy for them. They knew that SDSU was going to go heavy on tanks, so Lilia obviously great into that, and I think she's pretty good in the meta at the moment too. You don't see it a lot, but I personally think that if she can get ahead, she's super strong.
I agree. And keep in mind, this probably has to be an AP Varus. I don't see the full AD team going into the Ohrenmeister.
Yeah, it's interesting you bring that up, and I would agree. I mean, there's no shot that this Rammus tries to go like full AP or some shit, right?
I mean, he could. The Rammus pick super weird here too. They basically have 3 AP picks. If you want to count Thresh, call it 4. And Rammus has just been gutted since he was strong with the first item changes with Jackshow. Jackshow Thornmail, he got gutted with his W damage. So maybe it's not that big of a deal. Maybe this guy knows something I don't know with the Rammus pick. But we'll have to see.
Yeah, I'm glad that we are seeing some different champions out of both sides. It'll make for a much more interesting game, and I think that there is some potential for fireworks in this game. I like the Tristana Thresh into the bot lane of SDSU. Provides them the opportunity to kind of play more balls to the wall, and they were definitely winning bot side like in that last game. Just couldn't transfer it into the rest of the game, so hopefully they can snowball a lead this game and have a bit of a different outcome.
I completely agree. Also, it really isn't, a shot at NDSU, but SDSU's gold management and their team play, especially early to mid game, is insane. The way that, I mean, I think NDSU was up kills at 11 minutes, and SDSU still has 1K gold lead. They get gold out of nowhere. Their CS is crazy. They're not missing waves. They're taking camps on spawn. They're on objectives insanely. I think they had a 17-minute sole point. So they played that early game so well. It's just impressive. And the only thing NDSU can do is I think they have to mitigate that damage as well as they can. They got to abuse those leads, snowball harder, see what they can do about that.
Yeah, that's a great thing to point out, that 17-minute soul. I mean, that's insanely
Right.
fast.
I mean,
They really snowballed.
that's off spawn every drag. All right, let's see here. We got about a 3-minute wait timer for the streamer delay. And this is going to be game 2, best of 3. So
Let's see.
Smarty Pants, I don't know how to do predictions. Sorry.
I'm trying to figure it out here
Yeah,
if I can do it.
maybe Dan can whip that up for you, but I don't exactly know how. What's everyone else saying in the chat? What's thoughts on draft here? Who won draft? Caster's votes was for SD or NDSU. No bias, of course, but I do think it was NDSU. One SDSUer. I can respect the SDSU draft. I'm just not sure. This AP Varus is going to have to be huge to work with this Ornn for sure. But I guess Yone does do mixed damage as well, so it might be able to mitigate some of this Ornn. But about a minute 20 to go.
I'm getting the prediction going. I figured out how to do it.
You got it? All right, huge. What do we have? Channel points?
Heck yeah.
There it is. Wow. You're a genius.
What can I say? Have at it, chat. Who's winning, NDSU or SDSU? Give us your predictions. We got 40 seconds to game time. DSU. I guess that'd be either team, right? That's in both names.
Yeah, let's take both Dakota states. It's fine.
They're both Dakota State universities.
We got here the 87 to 13%. SDSU is the favor.
All right, so no believers in the chat for NDSU after the first game. I don't blame people for having their doubts. It was definitely a tough one for NDSU.
It was just a draft diff. And we are done with the spectator delay here. Give this a second to load in the game, and we'll hop in there. Back into the Rift. I'm really curious on this. SDSU has a better draft concept, but maybe I'm just biased.
Yeah, I agree. I personally like NDSU's draft a little more, but SDSU has a lot of really good engage. And when I think of how NDSU is going to handle that, you got Thresh, Flay, Tristana ult, and then you just have to hope that the CC from the rest of the team can help them out. But we do see ghosts on the top side of SDSU, so looking to play aggressive.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. 30 seconds until minions
Let that go
spawn.
directed cam. Get a little zoom out there immediately.
Little
Look
zoom
at that.
out, the
Yeah,
fat
learned
stack.
my lesson from last time. There we go.
SDSU was anticipating an invade from NDSU, but with NDSU being down a game, I don't blame them for taking it a little safe this time around.
You know, you say that, but I wouldn't have, now they haven't, they have not the best level 1 comp, but I wouldn't have been against a little invade with the Thresh hook, you know. What do they got to lose?
That's what I'm saying, man. You know, back when I used to play for NDSU, our support would always just be like, you know what, guys, let's just invade. It'll throw them off.
All
And
right,
there's
all
nothing
right.
gives you more confidence in a game where you think you're gonna lose than getting like a level 1 kill off an invade.
Nothing does hurt more than having the 3-kill invade lead and throwing the game either. So. It's usually more up my alley.
Glass half full, you know, that's how I look at it.
The early game for this mid lane here should be pretty Ahri favored. That Yon E level 2, I imagine. He's going to have to commit to that pretty hard. Josh Peck taking an early whooping in the top lane.
Yeah, that's been a bit of a trend this series. He's definitely been getting a beating from DRDD. I don't know if that stands for something or it's supposed to look like something, so I don't know. I'd like to know the story behind that name.
I just want to talk this guy through his head when he made the name Culver's Deluxe.
Yeah, let's talk about that name.
Oh,
I remember that guy from last year. Great hook.
The hooks, and Alistair just says, I don't care. I'll eat it.
And that is why he picked the All-Star, is just to get that headbutt in there if they ever want to jump on the Varus. So, good bit of poke there, though, but he is going to heal that up with his passive.
I think Josh Peck is perfectly fine just being under tower here for the majority of this lane. I think he just sits here, scales, builds items. I imagine an early Bramble here, maybe even a Warden's Mail for the lane. Probably a Bramble, though. It's usually more a Josh Peck-esque item to build.
Yeah, and you know, the Varus did start Dorn's Blade. That's not to say that he couldn't still go AP. I'm not really sure what the AP build is, but from the looks of it right now, SDSU is going to be full AD.
Sure. We'll for sure have to check it on the first back, but if they are, that Orn's going to have a heyday. That guy will build every armor item in the game and probably just build some more, craft his own.
Yeah, he could be a menace, honestly.
Stormstar's a little
Charm
wide
goes
on
wide.
the charm.
A little windy on the Rift, you know, just like Fargo and the rest of Minnesota and North Dakota. Hope everybody stayed safe out there in the snowstorm last day or two.
Got the driveway shoveled today. That was the 30 minutes of labor I did.
It's a common dub right there. Fresh Cut getting pushed off of the top scuttle with top prio, so he's just going to trot on down to the bot scuttle. Do deer trot? How would you consider?
I imagine they're trotting. I don't know, a gallop.
They gallop. They frolic.
Oh, and Josh Peck's getting the gank early. I don't think anything's gonna break out here. He kind of unstoppable the wrong way, but I think he's perfectly fine. From my experience of any games I've ever played with Josh, I imagine something in the comms is coming out like, if you want to gank me, go ahead. I don't care.
Yeah, he's in his comfort zone this game.
Yeah, he'll take all the pressure. Yep. Here's another one. The Olaf Ghost immediately. He doesn't have to flash. Eats the taunt.
He might die here.
And I think he takes back what he just hypothetically said.
That's a caster curse if I ever heard one, kid. That's all on you, man.
Sorry about that one, Josh. I kind of did that too. Fresh Cut trying to match it here in the mid lane. Has the slow, has a Q, maybe a
bit of damage, but another wide one. Just windy, you know. It's Fargo mid lane, I guess.
Wow. And Fresh Cut just can't quite match the pressure of this Rammus. And he's coming back for more.
Yeah, Josh Peck getting picked on, but honestly, if we learned anything from game 1, is it really worth camping the tank in the top lane? Now, if it's an Olaf, maybe, but definitely spending a lot of time top right now.
If that Olaf does get a little fed, I mean, that's, I don't know. It's going to be a tough day to be this ADC, to be this Ahri. Anything in their kit is just going to be worthless.
Yeah, now with that being said, Lilia has been able to pull off a bit of counter jungling, but I think SDSU knows, and now with NDSU's bot lane backing off, Fresh Cut's got to get out of here. He's going to get collapsed on.
Lilia isn't going to have the movement speed as she does late game.
That is going to be Flash. He had flash over the
Yon
water.
roams down to bot side jungle. I imagine Lily can just run away. He has 6. Does he commit? He
Oh,
does.
that might be a dead deer.
I think it is. No, she just makes it out.
Ooh,
Just in the nick of
Alistar wants it.
Allie's
Flash
looking.
WQ would do it, but
There'd be a Thresh Lantern there. I think that's, I mean, a pretty decent commit there by the Yon, but he has to go for it. One more auto, and when that E damage pulls back, she's dead.
yeah, well, great job by Fresh Cut to get out of there. I mean, he did overstay, but at least he doesn't die. Now Beamaduna looking for a gank here. Flash is up on Yone now, though. Ooh, whoa.
And here's me
Oh,
messing with
no.
the cam on accident.
Let's not get that one on replay, lads. The charm and the hook went wide there, and now Stormstars goes for more. Right as Rammus shows up, has to ult out.
And the flay
And
was a little tough, too.
Yeah, but this mid lane is windy.
Yeah, I don't know. That brush on top and bot side rivers has to grow up a little bit or something. It's not blocking enough wind because we're whiffing everything on the planet.
I mean, there really are no trees down mid lane, so it makes sense, right? There's no bends in the topography. or
No,
anything
you're
like
right.
that.
You're right. You know, nothing, no mountains, nothing getting caught up. I would like to point out, you mentioned Lilia counter jungling earlier, but she's still down CS to this Rammus. She has not farmed a camp since she was on the Rammus Krugs and had to get out, and she's down.
Yeah, and that's crazy to me with how much time Rammus has spent ganking. Nice knock
And
up
already
there
with the
from
charm.
Ibis29. It's gonna be close, but the W procs. There goes Stormstars. Ooh, hook just missed there.
Yeah, and I mean that's just the advantage of Yoan there. She charmed when he was mid Q, so that animation just flies through the charm still. I mean, he got off what he wanted, and the big Alistar knockup into the Rammus. The Flay tries.
And he
to
might be
help.
able to turn this with Lilia showing up, but Beamaduna taking way too much damage. Lilia is not 6 still.
Triss
They jump on a
Alistar
cover
double jump.
look.
Trist is 6. Fresh cut might get out here. Maybe a Q on the Rammus, bit movement speed. Doesn't get it.
Razzle Dazzler. Oh, and he gets the kill, but he doesn't want to go in for round number 3. Didn't think he had the damage, and I think he could have won that if he just jumps over the wall, but
He could have jumped over the wall. Varus still wasn't 6. Triss did use ult there, so the 2 for 2, not a bad deal. That was looking pretty done for.
yeah, honestly, you know, not quite having the killer instinct there, but NDSU does get on the board with a couple kills there. It was looking a little tough as they were honestly just getting outplayed across the map, it felt like, up till then.
No, I agree, and I'd like to point out from what I mentioned earlier in the draft, we're 8.5 minutes into the game, and SDSU with a 1.7k gold lead out of nowhere. Kills
And
are
look at
4
the top
to 2.
side.
Kills
That farm.
Right, kills are 4 to 2, but the down 20 CS in the top lanes, down a quick 5 in the mid, down 5 in bot. I mean, it adds up pretty quick. Already almost down. They are down 2k gold. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and Josh Peck, I just saw him miss at least 4 or 5 minions under tower while we were talking there. So definitely not going to be super impactful right away, but we all know that Orange scales up and he's going to be a tanky boy when it matters.
The scaling on red side NDSU is pretty insane. The Ornn, Lilia, Tristana. Compared to this, Olaf's going to fall off. Varus is going to fall off. Is going AP, though, with the Nashor's Rush. Point that
Yep,
out.
I was just going to point that out, yep.
I mean, the Yoan scales pretty hard, but, I mean, the scaling is there if they can hang in.
So yeah, this game we're going to see what on-hit AP Varus is going to look like, and that definitely is going to cause troubles for Josh Peck if the Varus is able to free hit on him. Now we got a gank in the bot lane. Cleanse comes out from Razzle Dazzler. Beamaduna maybe taking one for the team.
By Beamaduna to get out. That
That is what we like to
played.
see.
And there's
Well
a thresh
played.
pick there. I think that's just the comfort coming in there.
It really is. Very well played by Beamaduna to get out of that one.
The Lilia and Olaf kind of meeting here on top scuttle. I don't think that's anything Lilia actually wants to mess with. Hopefully she just walks away.
Meanwhile, Glue Stick has started up Dragon for SDSU, so not as fast of a soul this time around, but they're going to start up first drag here.
No, I mean, it just comes back to what I just keep saying, though. I mean, look at this prio. There's nothing in a million years to get red side into this dragon. They have vision on their Gromp. They have vision all through their blue side jungle. all prio, four people, 2 lanes, all on drag. Dragon's there, and I mean, top
Might
lane
be a
down,
bait here.
Top lane's down 30 CS. See if they can get something a little wide on both. Josh Peck just decides to farm the wave with the ult. That's really unfortunate because he just has to reset here. Hopefully TP back to lane. That's what he decides to do. Lilia's going to try and hold the wave. She doesn't really need to. She should just get out of here. Get some pressure elsewhere on the map. Otherwise her Raptors are going to be gone. Or this Yone goes top.
Oh, Varus ult is going to land, and he's just going to get bopped by that Q. And what was supposed to be a winning lane for NDSU, losing out quite heavily now. This Varus 4-0.
Yeah, that 4-0 Varus, I mean, wow. The Nashor spike that he had that early, too. He had that at, what, 9 minutes? I mean, he's got about 8,
Yeah, he had those
CS
2 kills
minute.
early.
He got the early Nashors, and this is going to be a tough one. Not to say their bot lane's completely out of it. They're playing well. But
Rammus has looped around top side, but he's just going to back. I thought he was looking for a gank, but it is an Ornn. Yeah, man, you know, this game's a little bit of a different story for NDSU. They've just kind of lost these early fights and haven't been able to push the advantages that they were supposed to have. This Lilia not very impactful with any of these ganks yet. I don't think he's been able to hit all yet.
Thresh, the Lilia asleep. And the shutdown
cast
goes on Trish, and the double kill for Trist.
There it is. Oh, but he messed up his W with the lantern there to save him. And it doesn't. What the heck was that, Razzle Dazzler?
Super unfortunate. He went in so deep with the W, and he messed up the W on the way out. He got the reset exactly like he needed.
That was like Kazakh syndrome or something.
He just didn't execute it.
Got
Josh
jump
Peck is
happy.
just going to get zoned off the wave, and there's nothing he can do about it.
All right, so let's think back on that. Lilia has picked up Rift Herald, and honestly, that was a pretty dang good gank, all things considered. They got a couple sums out, and they had the kills clean for the Tristana before Razzle Dazzler accidentally W'd. So, all things considered, you know, getting that bot lane back in the game, but I wish I could have seen that a little sooner, honestly.
Well, I agree. Josh Peck with really good trade here. Varus
Yeah,
picks
really good
up
trade.
the Leeching Leer, looking like he's going Rift Maker.
Yep, that would be correct. So, interesting build. I haven't seen AP Varus, but I'm guessing it's probably pretty good this game for him. Just considering they don't have any AD and there is that tank Ornn. Ooh! Fresh cut getting engaged on. Nice Hex Flash combo from Culver's Deluxe. But they don't finish off the kill. Yone trying to follow with the ult. He flashes for no reason, honestly. Varus was right there.
Yeah, really, really weird communication there by the Yone and Varus. I think Varus just walks up and breathes on him and he just dies. But they're going to zone Razzle Dazzler off as hard as possible. And they can just commit to this with the Rammus Alistair. What is Triss going to do besides sit and watch him?
So, I have a big problem right now. Can you look at a scoreboard and tell me what that might be? It's kind of hidden.
What?
So, Mr. Beamanduna does not have sweeper.
Oh, wow.
And look at the vision in the bot side of NDSU.
Yeah, we still
jungle.
have 4 yellow wards on the map.
That is a problem, my friends. That is a rookie mistake. NDSU has not been able to deny any vision. And mostly, I mean, honestly, I mean, if Beamanduna had sweeper in some of these cases, maybe Fresh Cut wouldn't have gotten picked off in that last kill that they had. So let's hope that he picks up a sweeper. He just left base. He doesn't have it.
Look at how deep this blue side vision here is. We have wards here, and control here, and they just run this. Now I understand bot side tower's gone, but they just took that. This vision is so deep. They get scuttle. They have vision all the way here, up here. This whole blue side is theirs, and with this drag coming up in a minute, I mean, there's no contesting it ever for red side. They just have to sit here and watch them take it.
Yeah, it's all about fundamentals here, and SDSU showing why they are one of the stronger teams in CCL. I mean, NDSU got to pick it up here, got to get back to the basics, get those sweepers, get those blue trinkets, and get some vision control so that you can actually contest some of these neutral objectives.
The Culver's Deluxe with a side of cheese curds. GG. You're not wrong. I mean, Culver's Deluxe
Making me hungry,
actually, man. The 7 KP on this Culver's Deluxe is pretty crazy. 7 KP on him, 5 more on the Varus is pretty crazy. And this could be a play
heavy on
onto the
Ibis, no
Yone.
flash here.
Thresh
He does
is
have
there.
ult.
Razzle Dazzler still with the jump, and Thresh kind of hindered that Yon ult. That was pretty well played. They could have a bit more Dragon Prio here. Stormstars has to ult out.
Yeah, you got the Bear Assault and hits the Charm. I mean, that's a decent amount of damage. Dragon has spawned, and it looks like NDSU has control over it now with Yone dead.
And I stand by what I said. You know, red side does get to start hitting at this dragon here, but keep in mind, I don't understand why Yon was there. They have vision all the way through that jungle. I'm not sure why he's there in the first place. Rammus goes in a little deep with the ult.
Pop the ult. That doesn't really get much done. It's just buying them time, though, as Yone's on the way and Dragon has reset. Charm does land. Alistar ult goes down, but he gets DC changed, and he is going to get blown up. So another kill over to Razzle Dazzler, the shining star on this NDSU roster.
The Lilia still has ult if anything tries to blow up here on the drag, but I think they're okay.
Yeah. And that is going to be drag picked up.
That's about just what they needed. And I think back to the top lane here, this Ornn just surviving is all he can do, and he's doing it pretty well. He is down a level, but he has the Radiant Virtue. He has the Bramble. I mean, this guy's going to be a utility to the team here. I believe level 13, I think it is, he gets to... I think he gets to upgrade his own item at 13. And then after that, he'll get to start passing them out to the team.
Get those ornaments out to everybody. Then it's Christmas all over the Rift.
Rift's up here, active for another about 2.5 minutes here. No vision for really anyone in each other's jungles here, which is fine. It's kind of expected. They had all their vision on bot side. Clear a ward here quick. And blue side with the massive prio on this Rift, I don't think they can contest.
Hey, cheers in the chat. B. Meduna finally got his sweeper, everybody.
The 16, 17-minute sweeper is not what you like to see. And the Olaf just coming down. He could just run at him if he pleases, but decides not to.
They got what they came for.
They pick up the Rift, they get what they came for, and they're just going to get out.
Yeah, and NDSU continuing to bleed out, down about 2.7k.
We have to find, they got to find a way here quick to quit the bleeding. Quit the bleeding, stop the bleeding. Radiant Virtue procced. Olaf ult goes out, and I think he's just going to sit under tower, and it's not a big deal.
Josh Peck not even using his flash there, just Giga Chad mode.
Goes into tower, and he makes it out. The Razzle Dazzler is doing damage. Not quite enough.
A lot of abilities missed there from NDSU, but Stormstar's looking for more. And the Swirl Seed coming down. Does not hit.
Could be a huge Yon ult if he finds the opportunity for the knockup, but SDSU is low for the fight.
Just hunting for one of these Lilia E's to land. Alistar looking for a play, but
I was hoping he was hex flashing right in there.
Yeah, could have been hype, man. They do not have Yone ult though.
They have no.
They're a little unhealthy.
They had vision over the wall, but they finally clear it. I thought for sure we were going to see some action over that wall on the yellow ward, but they didn't.
Isn't it nice having sweeper? Isn't that?
I know.
You can actually deny some
hex
vision.
flash coming in. Oh, and he goes a little.
Well played there.
Short.
They saw that one coming.
And this Rift is going to get a second charge unless someone gets around and hits that eye. Ari eats the charm or the root.
Oh, there's a big Q.
And ouch. Wow, does that
that
hurt?
Rift Maker finish now.
The 2-item AP Varus. Josh Peck holding his own in the top lane. Down 20 CS, which is quite a lot, but considering he was down 20 CS 10 minutes ago, I think he's doing okay. He's just going to keep scaling. Radiant Virtue's almost up. His ult's coming back up. He can hold his own. The Lilia needs to get some CS on the board. Still not reaching triple digits. The 89 we just got to be.
He only has one item. I mean, he's got one item and a cloth armor to his name. I mean, just on Lilia, you really want to try to get ahead so that you have more impact on the map.
Is this a Zhonya's angle out of the Lilia? What are we seeing on the cloth armor here?
It wouldn't surprise me, honestly, but, you know, I would have thought he'd want to finish like a Leandri's second.
Yeah, the Leandri's second here you'd think would be pretty vital, but we'll see.
Yeah, and you know, as much as Josh Peck has done a good job surviving the top lane, he hasn't had a lot of impact on the game, but here comes Razzle Dazzler, right as I say it.
Flash out of the Olaf, and he's out of there. Olaf had no
as I was saying, you know, you've got this, you've got a pretty good team fight comp, like, or I don't even know. I feel like NDSU like has good skirmish power, but The Ornn needs to be there for them to actually get anything done around these objectives.
The Ornn is for sure going to need to be there. This could be tough. Blue stick just a little short on the Rammus Q charge up.
Might be too deep.
Varus misses the ult, goes a little short.
Here comes Razzle
Razzle
Dazzler.
Dazzler's 1v1ing the Varus and blows him up. And he has to get out. They can't secure the kill. And Rammus right on him.
Rammus ult.
And he goes down. Fresh Cut should be able to clean him up. And Rammus has just ghosts away.
Created 2 kills so far. The Sleepy is up, but Fresh Cut opts not to use it. Meanwhile, Umbra flashes away from Stormstars, who gets
The Ornn
engaged.
TP comes in.
Q goes wide. Oh, Ornn's here now.
He does have the ult. He does not have the ult, but might be enough. Finally
stacking up for the
pops the
Yone.
ult. Lilia
The Drowsy.
with the W.
Oh
Huge
my
play.
gosh,
Wow.
that was close.
Wow, was that scrappy?
Oof. But NDSU does come out on top where Olaf did not have TP, so Josh Peck getting involved and see what happens there.
That guy has his presence be known. He had no ult, which means, you know, his ult is so vital for these team fights, but the Radiant Virtue proc puts it on a whole nother level. I mean, healing your team for an extra 1,000 HP is pretty crazy. We have the drag up. It'll only be second drag for both sides, so not, you know, vital for someone to get this drag as
Yeah, you know, they don't have to fight over this, but NDSU's feeling strong. I mean, Tristana now has that Infinity Edge finished. Opted for the tabbies this game. Pretty interesting.
Force goes a little wide. They're finally getting this vision cleared out of there. They still have vision in both sides of the bushes in the jungle.
Razzle Dazzler ends up face checking a bush. I'm not sure why he's the one doing that. Fresh Cut getting cut off a little bit, but one thing I was worried about a little bit this game with Fresh Cut is I don't see him play a ton of Lilia, and it is showing a little bit this game. He's not trigger happy enough with his ultimate when he does land his passive. Now we have a TP behind.
He comes up top. Ahri does have to ult away.
Lilia's already
goes golden
gone.
on the Zonias, and she's out. Yon ult out. Josh Peck popped the ult. Has a
Cold.
Radiant Virtue ticking. Olaf's not in there. Alistair with a 4-man knockup.
Nobody's falling
And
on
Olaf
SDSU.
goes
Now
down.
one finally does. Razzle Dazzler maybe looking for more. He has W up.
Oh, Josh Peck a little short on the knockup. Has the jump up. Culver's Deluxe has to flash. A 4v5. Ahri has no ult. No Everfrost. Hits
4v4
She
actually,
does
4v4.
have Everfrost up. Hits the charm on the Yon. And down goes Yon. 1v1
Yon,
to
yeah,
Ahri.
Yon's died there up on the top side of the map, and now Stormstars might be able to get involved, but Josh Peck has fallen.
Razzle Dazzler has to W out. Stormstars clearing vision. Hits the charm.
Oh, he canceled the Alistar W, but now he's going to get blown up by the Varus. Rammus picks up a kill onto the Tristana.
Lilia
Scrappy, man.
Lilia has died and respawned. And that Varus damage is insane. The 2.5 AP items is just crazy. And there's just no more contesting this. That started as a 4v5. To be fair, NDSU was so low for that entire fight. We thought maybe there was just not enough follow-up, but Alistair hit the 3, maybe even 4-man knockup in there, which was just crazy. Olaf did go down for it, but wow.
I mean, we saw how much damage this Varus is doing to everybody, not just Josh Peck. I mean, Josh Peck died there. But also, I mean, I'm not sure what Fresh Cut's building here. He just finished off Aegis.
He's
right?
going to
Is
be
that what
going
that is?
Jack's show. He's going to be going Demonic Jack's show. Unfortunately,
I don't know how strong that is anymore. I don't know if that's the build this game.
Unfortunately, yeah, both of those items have been nerfed pretty heavily. I think it's still strong, but I don't see that being any better than maybe a demonic build, a demonic into Liandry's. Excuse me. Here, I don't see the. Wow, can't think of what I wanted to say, but it doesn't matter. I just don't like the build.
Yeah, and you saw him get blown up in that fight, and I was like, okay, well, next time he's going to have Zonias at least. And then I looked down, and that is not going to be the case. So it's going to be a long way before this Lilia feels useful unless he can start hitting these swirl seeds from long distance.
Something is going to have to happen with this Varus, and it's going to have to be the Thresh Hook into the Ahri Charm, and he needs to go down quick. He just full bot Death Cap. I shouldn't say full bot, but bought a large draw and finished the Death Cap. That guy
Can you toggle the gold?
massive.
I think it might be N or something like that. I don't remember which one it is.
Well,
T.
you're just flat out lying.
I don't remember which. Someone in chat. X. Try X.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah, look at the gold bot lane.
11,500.
He's 2K up.
11-7, 11-8 on this Varus. That's
And
pretty
the
insane.
Trist is supposed to be the strongest member on NDSU.
And she is so far behind. I mean, they're just down on every angle. And Razzle Dazzler is just getting... He just can't even touch the Rammus if she wanted to.
The RDD taking some damage there, and Beamaduna just keeps fishing for these hooks. But another problem I have right now is NDSU, no blue trinkets either. So, you know, if SDSU wants to start up something from a distance, like, they can definitely do that.
That was a crazy knockback by the Alistair over that wall. The Orin TP coming in.
Fresh Cut has sleep on one, but...
I don't think there's a big presence of the TP needed. But Fresh Cut, I saw in the chat earlier, Fresh Cut holding Lilia ult for next game. And I'm
it really does feel that way.
I think I've seen 2 Lilia ults. One was in that dragon fight, and she solo ulted the Yon. And it was a pretty poorly placed ult.
Well, and now he's used Flash, so he doesn't have the Flash Q ult combo anymore. So it's going to be even harder for anything to happen with that ultimate.
And again, our CS numbers are just skyrocketing in distance. SDSU is up probably around average, anywhere from 30 to 50 CS per lane. A 30 around the board except for bot lane, which is about a 50 CS lead, 60. The goal difference is, as I said at the very start of the game, I said it in draft, and I bet I say it now. They're down 5k gold, and they're only down 4 kills. I mean, the gold SDSU just accrues is insane.
Yeah, can you toggle back to the items really quick here? I want to see where we're at now. So Trist bought Last Whisper to kind of cut away at those tanks. We saw that she had some trouble killing off some of their front line in the last fight, so... Suppose that works off, but it's definitely going to be a squishy Tristana, and I have no life steal or anything like that.
With this Jack Show Lilia, that's so brutal because the demonic Liandry's burn on the Rammus is at least, you know, that's an effort to take him down. But the Ahri AP damage, especially with the build she has, which I'm not against the build, it's just for survivability. But the Zhonya's into Everfrost is not enough AP damage to bring this guy down, and he's just going to keep stacking armor because there's really not a whole lot of threats anymore now that Lilia did not go Liandry's. And they're just going to position for the Baron here and probably just rush it.
Yeah, I mean, don't see a nobody's here from NDSU. No blue trinkets to spot it out either. I mean, they know they're on it, but...
Interesting, Yon TP. I'm not sure what we're doing there. We don't have mid lane pushed out. We were kind of just stinking around. We don't have our Raptors taken. We don't have mid lane pushed out. We at least got to crash those waves if they're taking Baron. And we just kind of really weren't doing anything.
Yeah, I just keep thinking back to this Jack Show item on the Lilia too. I mean, I get like his reasoning, like he's getting blown up in team fights, but that's why you get the Zhonya. You just have to get in there and get your sleep off and Zhonya. I mean, that's
agree.
All Lilia is really worth anything at this point in the game. Meanwhile, NDSU trying to get a Fnatic Bush Cheese, but Olaf Q just reveals them all. And Dragon is spawning here. This will be Dragon number
Olaf
4.
Eats the charm, eats the Thresh Hook.
Still has ult.
Does have
and
to
there it is.
Out. And that Rammus is coming on the back line. Varus ult goes in. Ornn ult out. The Lilia solo ult again.
Rammus ults to get out there. NDSU still wants to fight. Where's the Lilia ultimate? Oh, it's already used. My bad.
Razzle Dazzler is exhausted for the fight. He is alive in the back line. This doesn't look too bad.
This is huge.
The double kill for the Trist. Huge.
SDSU bit off too much more than they could chew after they used all their abilities, and Razzle Dazzler and the rest of NDSU just kind of cleaned them up. That was really messy from SDSU.
Yeah, and they knew they were there. The Olaf ate the CC for at least 17,000 seconds, and they just decided to keep going.
And they might be able to get another one here. No, there is flash on Ibis 29, but they should be able to run him down with the Lilia slows, and he's just going to burn away, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
He's gone.
Quite a swing.
Huge shift.
I don't want to get too excited for NDSU. We did get a couple kills there. We're still down 4,000 gold, but
well played though. Honestly,
that was well played. It's what they need.
They were more on the same page that fight, which is all we can really ask for. And honestly, SDSU just big blunder though. I mean, they had Baron on all 5, and then just decided to run into NDSU's jungle after already kind of poking them out when they could have just taken drag.
I think they either just Olaf needed to commit immediately with his ult and just go unstoppable there. And just run in that bush and not keep eating the CC. He was half dead before he popped ult. He popped ult, ran out of the fight. Him running in that fight with no ult, no ghost even as well. He had no ghost for the beginning of the fight. That was just brutal.
Yeah, SDSU, big blunder there, but as you said, they are still in control of this game. Still up about, what, 1.5k? Almost 2k?
Green guy in the chat said Tristana doing his best to save the Varus. He did ult him just right out of the fight when they had him dead.
Yeah, yeah, he barely survived there. So unlucky damage calculation there by Razzle Dazzler, but items are coming in. The ornaments have come in as well. So 3 ornaments now on NDSU.
Huge ornaments, LDR completed. Orn having the 3 item power spike. Him having the full MR item and full anti-heal armor item is pretty huge, especially for that Force of Nature, just to stop those all the CC and slows, etc. Pretty huge. And as you mentioned, all the ornaments getting upgraded here. We got the upgraded Kraken Slayer, Jack Show, and Everfrost. I really like to see it on the Kraken Slayer, though. That damage should be huge.
Yeah, so even though this Varus is up basically an item on Razzle Dazzler, they are cheaper items somewhat. And honestly, with these ornaments in, it feels like this game is fairly even in terms of just pure damage and team fights. It's all about execution at this point.
I agree, and keep in mind that Varus damage it's burst damage. They do not have the sustained damage that... oh my goodness, and there I said it. And there I said it, and he just got one shot. I'm not quite
Even doing is way too squishy to walk up to him like that.
Sure, and I'm not quite sure what he was expecting to do there. Tristana was there, but she was all the way in Raptor Pit. So I don't really like that play there by him, but this should be okay. Josh does not have to care. He can sit there and eat every Olaf auto. Olaf does have Black Cleaver, but I still don't think he cares.
And honestly, good on Umbra to understand just how much damage he does and just not give a crap about this Thresh. He's been playing this Varus pretty dang well, and
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see if he can keep doing it, but it's a tough game to navigate. There's the Lily ult.
The Flash W. Could be huge. Fresh Cut is in there a little deep, but they should be able to follow this. Varus and Olaf are stuck bot lane.
More abilities missing, though.
And Fresh Cut needs to quit chasing this. I don't know what his expectation is here. He does not kill Rammus. That is not the right play. Imagine if Fresh Cut is there with their team in this bot side jungle. Could have clapped it on Olaf.
They don't even need him, though. They just pick him off. There's a big shutdown over to Storm Stars.
And Baron's up in 50 seconds here.
And he's just kind of scaled up now, and they have control in this game. I mean, there might be a 5k gold lead, basically. Or, sorry, 500 gold lead now. Oh, no, it is 5k, yeah. It's about 4k gold lead for SDSU, but it doesn't feel like it at all.
I agree. Josh Peck has TP for this Baron, and Varus is down for it. That is the majority of SDSU's damage. If we pull up the gold charts again, I mean, 16,000 team gold is on this Varus, and he's not there. I think there's no threat to this Baron.
How has this Varus survived these fights? I mean, his whole team is going in, and he's just stuck in the back line if NDSU plays it right. So he's been kind of getting picked off. Meanwhile, NDSU, they're just going to pick off.
Where did Yon go? Holy cow!
The buffed ornament Kraken Slayer just absolutely decimated it. What is the name of that item, if you hover over it? Worm Fallen Sacrifice. So Iris just sacrificed at the altar there.
And we get to go on to Soul Point here. Now Yoan's down, and they get to just fight at 4v5. They had no ults, no anything used. They have all sums, except Lily and Flash.
Can totally fight this. They can
this
totally
looks good.
Fight this.
Varus has no cleanse, keep in mind. So I mean, they land one Thresh Hook on him, one anything. They're looking pretty good.
They need to start this right away, though, because Yone's respawning in 10 seconds, and he does have TP.
He is going to get there fast, you're right. They have a lot of vision still for him to TP into, and I imagine he will right away. I think they can just rush it.
They have all ultimates, so we'll see. This is probably the game right here. Whoever wins this team fight, NDSU has Baron on
Olaf
and
with the
they're turning
ult
on
out.
the
That's
Olaf.
huge. They don't have to play for this dragon. It's just the whole point. They just need to win the fight.
Dragon
And
resets.
red team secures the dragon.
Red picks it up and
Lilia slump.
Oh man, another kill goes over. Bear's still alive though, dishing out the
Lilia's
damage.
exhausted. Ord is trying to get on top of this Varus. Alistair is in there so deep. Olaf's one shot. Razzle Dazzler goes down. And they chase the Alistair. It's just fresh cut.
They don't have any more damage.
And they
NDSU's
split so
taking out too
bad.
much to
They
make a
split
play.
up so poorly. They just absolutely chimped out for that Alistair for no reason. Oh my goodness. Olaf is one shot in there. And they go for the Alistair.
Oh, NDSU. I mean, they pick up the dragon. That's important. And they still have Baron on 2, but just not enough communication there. And ultimately, they do. It doesn't end up just being a 3-for-3, but NDSU, if they had just a bit better of a team fight there, they could have closed out the game right there.
That's a 100% game. They have the Baron split. That was crazy. Yeah, keep in mind, Tristana just full bot Bloodthirster, by the way. So she was sitting on a ton of gold. But that's not a bad purchase. She got absolutely popped by that Varus. Just one shot, and she just went down immediately.
It almost makes you wonder if it's worth getting a GA this game. I mean, with the way these fights are going, they're just so long and drawn out.
Yeah, I wonder if you get a GA, and I know if it were to be in my solo queue games, I would just absolutely flame my ADC. But I'm not against something like an Anathemas here. Or,
like, you just go aggressive on the Trist, you know, you pop the Varus. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's troll, but I feel like this isn't a terrible game.
I'm not against a GA, and I'm not against any sort of defensive item on the Tristana. It's a little late now. She bought the Bloodthirster, which is fine. She'll have the overheal shield got a really big buff last patch. But I think it's fine. I just would have liked. I shouldn't say I would have liked. I could have agreed with the defensive item on the Tristana, but the damage is needed.
Yeah, I mean, this game is very close now. This is a fun game to watch right now. Here, 37 minutes in.
And this Ornn, let's see what he's got. He's almost on 6,000 HP, 325 armor, and 210 MR. That guy is big, and he does have the Anathemas chains. I'm not sure if I can see who that's on. I cannot.
I guess it's on Varus.
You would have to imagine it's on Varus, but I don't know who else it would be on. But
yeah, if you click on Varus, I think it might show it on him. Yeah, he's got the chains. Yep. So good purchase there. That's an often forgotten item, but I'm sure it's been very important this game.
Some very
just
big
got it, I don't know.
key parts to these fights is that they've gotten the pick on this Olaf, and they've gotten that Olaf ult immediately. Olaf not being able to run at Tristana Ahri is super huge for these fights. So I'm not if they get another pick on Olaf where they just need to get his ult out, and that's fine. That's a really huge advantage.
Well, and just look at this, fresh cut on this Lilia. Despite my disagreements with his build, he's definitely gotten back into this game. He has a bounty on his head, and he's been playing these team fights out a little better now that he is tankier and doing more damage to these tanks.
We need a little bit.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy, and here we
Caster
go.
Curse.
Caster Curse is an understatement. And Lilia's just living. She's alive.
He's still alive. He's still alive.
Oh, it eats the Varus Q, but they should get the Alistair. Maybe Tristana's not here. She has to match Olaf.
Chris should just kill Olaf.
Absolutely shreds Olaf. They go 1 for 1. 2 for 1, excuse me. They ended up getting Alistair.
They get 2 towers out of it, though, so SDSU just kind of going kamikaze there on the inhib turrets.
Soul in a minute. Holy cow. That Lilia lived for ages. The Razzle Dazzler doesn't care. The cleanse.
That's big shutdown.
Ginormous cleanse. Varus will be down for Dragon.
Umbra just kind of trolled their Dragon's up in 40 seconds.
A huge opportunity. They don't have the damage. It's 5
This
or
should be an
4v,
inhib at
it's
least.
4v3. Glue Stick sitting here on the flank. See if they're a little timid here. I think they just need to play it.
Yo, I don't know why they keep making Razzle Dazzler face check bushes. For Pete's sake, what are we doing here, guys?
Someone just help the guy out. Again, though, that's we're 40 minutes in the game, man, and we have no blue trinkets.
They have no vision at drag now, and now they have to reset. I mean, NDSU just completely the decision making is just not quite there for me, and now they're having to cancel backs. They're sitting on wards in their own jungle, even though they just want a team fight. And
Drag up in about 20 seconds. Josh Peck does have TP. He's going to have flash. He's going to go push out this top wave. And I imagine going to have a really quick TP down. He's not even going to push top. He's just going to walk. He does have ult. He has Radiant Virtue. No cleanse.
Ramus just smited, but he does have another stack. Yeah, NDSU, you got to think about when you get a kill, what that means, how you transition that into the next thing. And now we have a burger flip happening at the drag pit. Orin TP's coming in.
He's gonna pop that Radiant Virtue with the ult immediately. He's gonna solo ult this Yone, and Yone should go down here pretty quick, but they get the dragon stolen.
No soul over to NDSU, but they are going to look to win the fight anyways. There's a split fight once again. Stormstar split off from the team. Does not have another stack on his ulti.
He should get the blast cone here. And he blast cone the wrong way! Right into the Ramus! And Fresh Cuts fighting off this Yone. And they trade.
Oh my gosh, he picked him off, and now they just have the tanks.
The Razzle Dazzler's still alive.
Where was Razzle Dazzler in this whole fight?
I wish we had. I'll have to call the LCS, see if I can get their replay system on our Twitch channel. But other than that, I don't have a replay. But I don't know where that guy was, because he was not to be seen in that fight. He's walking out full health. He still has flash.
Man. These fights are so messy. Like, can one team just communicate and stay together? Like, oh my gosh.
Blue Stick doesn't want this the way he thinks he does. But
Razzle Dazzler does so much damage if he can get it out.
Yes, he does. This is a 2v3. The QSS picked up by the Razzle Dazzler as well. And they're going to look for the Baron.
Yeah, and I don't think NDSU knows this. I mean, Varus does a lot of damage here with the Olaf.
Razzle Dazzler kind of needs to be in there. But if he steps up, this Alistair is going to be there.
They just get it. They just take it away, man. They had the numbers advantage, and that's Baron over to SDSU 42 minutes into the game.
Yeah, and you know what? NDSU, I didn't see if that was a smite situation or what exactly. That fight was so messy, just all over the place. So I didn't get to see what happened on Drag, but they do not secure the soul. And keep in mind, man, the big thing here is they still have tier 1 towers. They just got tier 1 bot tower and tier 1 top tower still up. So Josh Peck kind of makes the correct macro decision to be bot side there. Because even if he's there, they can't really contest the Baron. He just didn't really have anything. So not having these early game towers is just so unfortunate.
NDSU they're not thinking a step ahead. It's always just kind of the moment, it feels like, because they win these fights and then it's like they don't know what to do. You know, they won that fight, they don't get the dragon on time, and it ends up being a flip, and they lose that smite.
No,
you know,
100%.
They don't get soul.
I imagine we see something like a 1-3-1 here out of blue side. Olaf can just pressure. Ornn's going to have to match someone. And without the Ornn ult and Radiant Virtue healing, without an early pick, I don't see this going well for NDSU. So they need to make a pick before they start sieging, or they're going to have to give triple inhib, play under Nexus towers, and that never ends well.
It's all up to Razzle Dazzler to dish out his damage. If they can play around him, they win these team fights so handily. It's just a matter of if they can get to that point with Baron crashing in at both waves here.
And things like this is just so unfortunate. This Yone can just be from so far away and take this inhib. And it doesn't matter.
NDSU needs to pick where they want to fight here.
They need to pick a fight sooner rather than later, and they're looking for the Olaf a little bit. They get some damage dealt. Oh, Yone's back in there. They're going for inhib. They have to commit on something.
What are they afraid of? You have Lilia ult here.
There's no damage.
You only got it on one, man.
Ari's mid. Lilia flashes out. Man, I don't like this. The Ornn ult comes in. Tristana's still topside.
They picked a fight the one place Tristana isn't, and they pay for it. Ari falls. Next goes B Meduna, and now Razzle Dazzler trying to 1v2 in the bot lane. He is going to pick up that kill on Ibis. But just look at that. Just play around your Tristana, man.
I would like to say play around Tristana, but I believe that was a case of Tristana not playing with the team.
I don't know. There's just such miscommunication. Like, I don't know whose fault it is, but whatever's going on, NDSU just needs to be more decisive.
No, 100%. I mean, everyone's full build. There's no... This is just a matter of macro playing in the team fight, in the late game team fights, and NDSU just is so all over the place. The last, I bet, 3 or 4 team fights should have 100% been in their favor, and they just kind of threw it out the window. We have the Dragon Soul coming up, but just like I said,
this is what it's all going to come down to, I think, Cade.
No, you're 100%
Dragon
right.
fight.
They have triple inhib down, and the wave clear is going to be brutal. Tristana has crazy wave clear. Late game Orin's pretty decent, but this is going to be really hard to get into this dragon.
I really don't know how I feel about the Mercurial Scimitar from Razzle Dazzler. I mean, he's got cleanse. What is it that he's QSSing?
I imagine he's cleansing the Varus ult and he's taunting the Rammus. Or excuse me, cleansing the Rammus.
Can you not cleanse both of those? Like, I really don't understand. I think he GA or more. I don't know. Like maybe Quick Blades or something might have been better this game.
Oh my
there it
goodness! And I think this is it. Yep. Wow.
TP's coming in. 2 members already fall from NDSU. No Zonia ever purchased on the Lilia. Now Josh Peck's stuck within 3 members on his own. Varus Q's doing so much damage. Full build Varus. And there it is, NDSU. Just kind of runs into the jungle. Olaf doing his thing.
Razzle Dazzler's doing his best.
They pick up 2 kills.
Off 2 of them. He's trying to get this Rammus.
What is SDSU doing, man? Razzle Dazzler might be able to just kill Varus here, and he's focusing the Alistar. Why was he autoing Alistar there?
He autoed Alistar, and it just didn't matter. What a poorly played team fight there.
You hate to see it, Cade. I mean, 46-minute game. NDSU had so many opportunities to put that game away, but just they didn't have the killer instinct. They didn't have the communication to close it out as a team.
Pog, what a fiesta. I couldn't agree more with the chat.
Truer words have never been spoken.
Holy cow. The 46, closer to 47-minute absolute bronze fiesta in the team fighting. Wow.
Neither team was really communicating well at all in those team fights, if I'm being honest. It's absolute fiestas. I mean, SDSU gave NDSU many opportunities to get back into that game and just never... NDSU just never really could get that killing blow in there, and kudos to SDSU Umbra, 18-5 on that AP Varus. Just absolutely one-shotting people.
We called it out in the champ select that had to be an AP Varus if that's what they're going to play. Ended up working out great. SDSU takes the match 2-0. A much better performance out of NDSU. Still down 5.5k gold, even kills, but a much better performance by them. That's about it for the stream here. Thanks everyone for coming out watching. Dan, you got anything to say? Any last moment thoughts here?
No, just thanks everybody for tuning in. We had about 19 people here, so it was really fun casting with you, Cade.
Yeah, you too, man. Well, guys, thanks for viewing. GG's to everyone playing. It was fun. Have a good night, guys.